We're getting closer and closer to the Pretty Little Liars season 6 finale. That means that what we've been waiting for is finally here, the identity of Charles De Laurentiis. But if you read the Drunkgate spoilers last week, you might already know that Wren Kingston is actually Charles. ABC Family and I'm Arlene King said the spoilers were fake, but I think that they're just trying to throw us off their tracks because there are so many clues that show Wren has been Charles this whole time. We haven't seen Wren in a while, like mid-season 4 in a while, so I'm here to recap all the clues that PLL has been hiding to show that Wren is Big A. Wren was in the pilot, and it's long been rumored that the real Big A has been on Pretty Little Liars since episode 1. That's the episode where we first met Dr. Kingston when he came to the Hastings house to meet Melissa's family.
I'm Wren.
I was hoping you'd be happy for me.
Well, you know what they say about hope. Breeds eternal misery.
Wren is a creep. He actively pursued Spencer even though she was a teenager and he was engaged to her sister, and he wouldn't take no for an answer. After she rejected him 100 times, he finally moved on to Hannah. When she kissed him by accident one time, he wouldn't get over it and asked her out again and again. And in fact, the last time we saw Wren, he was sitting in his car angrily staring at Hannah while she kissed her boyfriend. Wren is a creep who also loves vodka. Guess who else does? Big A. In the second episode of Pretty Little Liars, we saw Wren order vodka soda and share it with Spencer. Then later in the series, we've seen Big A put vodka in coolers and order it at bars. There's no coincidences on Pretty Little Liars. Wren is a doctor, and how much crazy stuff has Charles done that would totally need some medical knowledge? From implanting notes into Hannah's teeth to putting trackers in all the girls in the dollhouse, they definitely need some medical history there. And we've seen Wren working at a hospital, doing rounds, and even volunteering at Radley.
Dr. Kingston. Hello, Spencer.
Hey. You two know each other?
Marlene King also once posted an Instagram that had baby Charles holding an apple with the caption, "An apple a day, ... We all know what comes next. Keeps the doctor away. Was that a hint that Charles is the doctor, just like Wren? Everything comes back to Radley, and while Wren was volunteering there, we saw him have sketchy conversations with Mona, the first A, have beef with Eddie Lamb, and even be accused of forging visitor passes to help Redcoat get in. At the same time, Wren doesn't seem to be a totally legit doctor. Once Mona calls him out on spelling diagnosis wrong. Shouldn't a doctor know that? And on the Rosewood Police Board, his name was listed as Dr. Kingston. Someone's background is being questioned. Wren has also said that he has a history of mental illness in his family, and we know that Charles has struggled with that. Wren told Hannah that he's been in mental institutions a lot because his father used to spend a lot of time in them.
Wait, your dad was in a nut house?
For years.
What if that was a cover-up and it was actually Wren who lived his whole childhood in Radley? Wren's British accent is a perfect cover. We know that Charles supposedly died when he was 16, and we met Wren in his mid-20s, giving him plenty of time to pick up the accent, change his appearance, and forge a whole new identity that no one would recognize. Plus, we never even saw Wren interact with Mrs. De Laurentiis, the only person who would probably recognize him. Wren was also brought up randomly at the end of season 5. Spencer went to stay in the apartment he shared with Melissa, and he wasn't there. It was Pretty Little Liars' way of reminding us that Wren is out there, but doing what? We have no idea. Finally, the smoking gun is this photo. When Wren was working at Radley, he gave it to Mona to see what kind of emotional response she would have. It shows a happy family playing at a farm. But then randomly, Wren started coloring in the mother's coat to be red. First, people thought this was a clue that Wren knows Redcoat. But now that we've seen the crazy Charles home movie, we know that Mrs. De Laurentiis wore a red sweater that day, the most important day of Charles's life. Was that just Wren recreating that important scene? These clues just prove that even if Drunkgate was totally made up, that person got lucky because Wren is totally Charles De Laurentiis. And we'll finally get to see all the pieces come together in Game Over Charles.